The once mighty Russian oil empire is collapsing right before our eyes. International sanctions have already put enormous pressure on Moscow's energy sector, but it is Ukraine's targeted strikes that now threaten to deliver the final devastating blow. Kyiv has developed a coordinated strategic offensive capable of hitting nearly every part of Russia's oil industry. And the attacks of the past weeks have made one thing crystal clear: no place on earth is safe for Russia anymore. In this video, we're going to take a very close look at the latest Ukrainian strikes. Why are these attacks so significant? How badly is Russia's once mighty oil industry actually doing? And what does this mean for global energy markets and geopolitical stability? Let's break it all down. Ukraine's strategic air campaign has evolved remarkably over the last few months. Just a short while ago, Kyiv had almost no capacity to conduct large-scale airstrikes inside Russian territory. Today, however, the initiative has shifted. Ukraine is controlling the tempo of the conflict in ways that even experts admit are unprecedented. The strikes have grown increasingly complex and coordinated. Initially, in August, Kyiv focused almost exclusively on Russian oil refineries. Now, the Ukrainian military is hitting a broad spectrum of targets: oil terminals, ports, offshore platforms, and even the Russian shadow fleet. Almost every week, we see new attacks, from Temryuk to Novorossiysk, and now Taman. And if that wasn't enough, Ukraine has expanded its campaign to Russia's offshore platforms in the Caspian Sea. Every single link in the oil production chain is now under attack. From extraction and processing to loading and export, each step is disrupted, sometimes completely halted. When this campaign began, some commentators suggested early attacks were mere lucky hits. But today, it is clear, these strikes are coordinated, scalable, and relentless, designed to leave Russia no time to recover. Let's examine the Russian oil sector more closely. A clear pattern has emerged. Once Ukraine identifies a target, the attacks escalate rather than stop. Take the Vladimir Filanovsky offshore platform in the Caspian Sea. On December 11, 2025, Ukraine's security service, the SBU, deployed long-range drones to strike one of Russia's largest offshore oil fields. The attack temporarily halted production from more than 20 wells. Filanovsky is operated by Lukoil, one of Russia's largest energy companies. The Kyiv Independent reported at least 4 hits were registered on the offshore platform. As a result of the attack, oil and gas production from more than 20 wells was stopped. Explosions in the Caspian Sea serve as another reminder to the Russian Federation that all companies supporting the war are legitimate targets. This was a major success for Ukraine, but it was only the beginning. Since December 11th, Kyiv has conducted at least 3 more attacks on Caspian offshore platforms. The most recent strike on December 20th again targeted Filanovsky, one of Russia's largest discovered offshore fields, with estimated reserves of 129 million tons of oil and 30 billion cubic meters of natural gas. In the past few weeks, Ukraine has intensified its drone campaign, extending its reach far beyond the Black Sea and striking targets once considered untouchable. By mid-December, the SBU had attacked Caspian platforms 3 times in a single week, including Filanovsky and Korchagin. The financial impact is enormous. The Filanovsky platform alone is estimated to cost Russia $10 to $12 million per day. On an annualized basis, that's more than $4.2 billion lost. And that's just one platform. But offshore platforms are only part of the story. Ukrainian forces are systematically targeting Russian ports and terminals as well. On the night of December 21, 22, drones struck Taman-Neftegas near Taman in Russia's Krasnodar region. Key technical facilities, a liquefied hydrocarbon dock, and other port infrastructure were hit, causing a massive fire. This terminal is one of the largest in the Black Sea region, with storage capacity exceeding 1 million cubic meters of oil products and liquefied gas. And it's just 6 kilometers from the illegally constructed Kerch Strait Bridge. With strikes on Temryuk, Tuapse, Novorossiysk, and now Taman, Kyiv has effectively targeted almost every major Black Sea oil port. Some facilities, like the Tuapse loading station, are completely out of operation. And Ukraine's campaign doesn't stop at Russian shores. The Shadow Fleet, vessels designed to bypass sanctions, is now under global threat. Ukraine is striking tankers not just in the Black Sea, but off Senegal and in the Mediterranean. No place is safe. For example, the Russian tanker Kendil was hit by Ukrainian drones in the Mediterranean, more than 2,000 kilometers from Ukraine. Another tanker, Valery Gorchakov, was struck near Rostov on December 18th and is now completely inoperable. Satellite imagery suggests that additional strikes may have occurred in the Black Sea in recent days. For Moscow, these attacks are catastrophic. The Shadow Fleet accounted for roughly 80% of Russia's crude oil exports in 2024. The strikes not only destroy ships, but also create systemic problems for the Kremlin. Entire shipping companies are suspending operations with Russia out of fear. The Turkish company Besiktas, with around 30 tankers, halted all Russian business. The company that owned Kendal ceased operations the day after the attack. Even ships that continue operating generate significantly less revenue due to soaring insurance premiums and hazard pay for crews. And here's the key strategic point. Ukraine doesn't need to destroy all 1,200 tankers of the Shadow Fleet. Hitting just a few vessels immobilizes dozens more and drives up operational costs, making Russian oil exports increasingly unprofitable. Attacks off the coasts of Senegal and Libya demonstrate this. Nowhere is safe. Not the Black Sea, not the Mediterranean, not the Atlantic. Every tanker, every port, every shipment is a potential target. Putin feels the pressure, and his reactions make that clear. He threatened to block Ukraine from the Black Sea, calling the strikes piracy. Europe has joined the effort. The EU expanded its list of sanctioned vessels from 400 to 600. Sweden seized the Russian cargo ship Adler, previously used to transport weapons, owned by a company sanctioned by the EU and the US. The United States is also enforcing these measures. The US Navy has stopped 3 Venezuelan tankers, with former President Trump announcing that any tanker carrying Venezuelan oil could be detained. This sends a strong message, reinforcing Ukraine's strategy and further isolating Russia. All of these measures indicate the era of the Russian Shadow Fleet is coming to an end. Offshore platforms are being disabled, oil terminals destroyed, tankers targeted worldwide, and international sanctions tightening the net. Moscow's oil exports are heading towards systemic collapse, threatening the financial foundation of the Russian Federation itself. For Ukraine, fully funded by the EU for the next 2 years, the mission is clear: make Russian oil exports impossible and cut off the Kremlin's war finances. And Kyiv is well on its way to achieving that goal. The question now is this: how long can the Kremlin continue exporting oil? How far will Ukrainian strikes go? The answers are still unfolding. But one thing is clear: the global energy landscape is changing, and the effects will be felt far beyond the Black Sea. Now it's your turn. What do you think? How long can Russia maintain its oil exports? How far will Kyiv push its strategic strikes? Let us know in the comments. Take care and see you next time.